Hello and bright sunny morning. I hope you're doing well and everything is going nicely in your world. Today I thought I'd just come on and speak about the Aries Equinox because it really is a new beginning of many, many things. And it follows shortly afterwards by the Aries New Moon a couple of days later. So this is a time of really and truly big new beginnings. And what starts off in the Aries Equinox, because it's the beginning of the whole zodiac cycle, because Aries is the beginning of the first sign of the zodiac, is this is actually going to stay with us probably for the next 12 months. So there's things going to play out over this period of time. But again, it's an important time. So we still have Pluto in Capricorn at this particular point in time, and it'll stay there until the 23rd. And after that, it's going to move into the sign of Aquarius. Now, right now, as Pluto's in Capricorn for those last few moments, it's really, really smashing down those old top structures, really pulling apart things that no longer work. That's externally and also within ourselves as well. So this is actually heralding a time of new beginnings, which is really, really important for us all. We also have Sedna, which is one of the Kuiper belt objects. It's at 28 of Taurus. It's moving to Gemini in June. So again, it's coming towards the end of big cycles, big themes of letting go. And with Sedna, because of her myth, and I'll probably do something about her, it's a time of letting go of what once made us feel safe and secure, which no longer works for us, and actually transforming that and actually starting to look more internally in terms of what is really, really important for us. We have Saturn in Pisces. It's been there since the 8th of March. And so here we're getting a real reality test. We're really getting asked and challenged now to become our own spiritual masters, to really look more deeply into where things are at. Water is also really important at the moment, and there's a lot of study and work being done about the consciousness of water, collective energy of water, and we're going to find more healing, etc., from water. And just out of interest, my one of my good friends, Heather Jean, has actually created some healing waters, which I take every day, which are absolutely very, very powerful, which connect to the chakras. So if you want to look that up, have a look at Heather Jean, Oracle of Sound. But basically, water is going to be a really key issue with us. And so also it's important that connecting with water is connecting with our consciousness as well. So we're going to be moving through a lot of things in terms of becoming our own spiritual master, mastering our own life, and actually really tapping into our own sense of consciousness around things. So the sun moves into the Aries at the equinox at 0 of Aries, and it's conjunct Manwë. And Manwë is a dwarf planet. It's at 1 at Aries, and Manwë in myth is creator god. So he and Vada, who is wife, the star goddess, actually created the universe, and he's connected to the highest archangel, Archangel Michael. So he's basically a high source of divine intelligence, and he operates outside time and space, and he's a real symbol for New Earth. And as we know, New Earth is not a place. New Earth is a place within ourselves, not a place on the planet. So it's a place of expanded consciousness, awareness, of knowingness, of really being in touch with who we are. And so he's actually putting us very much at this point in connection with all of that. We have Ceres at the planet of harvest and fertility at 0 of Libra. So again, there could be issues around, food, etc., because it's opposing the sun at this particular point in time. But again, there's another new beginning potentially here as well. We have Hermea at 0 of 34 of Scorpio, and Hermea is highly regenerative. She's a Hawaiian goddess. She's able to birth babies from all over herself. She has a stick called the Makalai that creates life. So basically, it's really important that at this particular point in time, we're actually really connecting to the magic of creation within ourselves as well, because that's what she creates. She creates from all over the space. And it's interesting in her story, she created fairness within her community by summoning her spiritual powers, not by summoning other powers. And I think that's a really key lesson here, is that we're really tapping into our spirituality and more of who we are to really start to bring forward, the essence and the gifts of what we need to bring. So Venus is conjunct the North Node. And the North Node, as you know, is our collective future, and basically it's in Taurus. So we're moving here towards a love for nature, Mother Earth, those sorts of things, and everything being done, because Taurus tends to do things in a very stable, solid sort of way, fairly solidly. The Sun here is also conjunct Neptune. which is moving us towards Neptune's planet of unconditional love and a sense of oneness, and reinforcing again with that the moon is in Pisces. So there's a real sense of the spiritual, and that we're moving beyond ourselves, moving into a sense of oneness of everything, and coming into a new sense of a new octave, a new sort of level, in a sense, at this Aries equinox. Neptune's also about the veil, about illusions. So a lot of those things are actually changing. There could be shocks. So things coming together that we didn't know before. And Neptune's also squaring Gemini about the social media. So we may be actually seeing a lot of different things coming up on social media, or things changing within social media at this point in time as well. Mars is in an outer sign conjunction to the moon, and this basically is emphasizing this very, very, because Mars rules Aries, this very militaristic, sort of almost warrior energy. But at this point in time, it's asking us really to tap into being spiritual warriors, not physical warriors, not aggressive warriors, but people who are really, really basically coming into their own selves. And with Mars coming into that space, and Mars is very much the warrior, the innovator, it's asking us really to become more and more of our own spiritual warriors and show spiritual leadership in our own lives, which is actually very, very key. Chiron is in Aries conjunct Jupiter, so this is about the wounded healer. So basically, we're going to see a lot more stuff going on around health. Chiron is actually the wounded healer, but is also showing us where we are healing. And so very much we're being shown in Aries that the healing comes within ourselves. And conjunct conjunct Jupiter, there's going to be a lot of opportunities, a lot of expansion, possibly expansion into healing areas as well, but also expansion within ourselves if we really address and tap into the healing that we need to do at this particular point in time. So Mars squares Neptune, so it puts a lot more energy into the spiritual. So really and truly, basically, there's a real sense here of the spiritual really coming into that as well. And Manway squaring the Sun in Aries, and there's a square to Ixion. And Ixion's about the positive expression, about going beyond social norms, finding your bliss, finding your joy, simplicity, coming back to nature, being independent, finding out who you are, your own path and your own joy, and being who you need to be at this particular point in time, which really, in a sense, is the journey of the spiritual warrior. It is to be who we are in our unique, authentic self, and to follow our own divine path, and to bring forward our gifts and our light that we need to bring at this particular point in time to the planet. So there's Selassie is at 7 of Aries, and she's square Ixion. So she's linked, Selassie is linked to the photonic energy, the photonic light. So she brings in a lot of that extra energy from outside of the planet as well, that really is encouraging us and helping us grow and develop in a really, really powerful way. And she's also making a connection here to a conjunction to Mercury. So there's going to be a greater understanding of the oceans, and she's going to be asking us to dive deeply into understanding more about the seas and the oceans, but also dive deeply into understanding more about ourselves as well. And Hermea finally forms a quincunx to Manway, who birth new earth. And Hermea is a symbol for the birth of new earth, so, and Manway sextiling Sedna. So there's a positive axis and squaring Ixion. So there's really strong energy propelling us forward into a new earth, remembering that new earth is not a place, as I've said, but a frequency, and a frequency we're all looking for as well, and a frequency we're looking to shift ourselves into, and we're moving into. And as we follow that spiritual path, as we become that spiritual warrior, and as we truly, truly tap into who we are authentically in our gifts, that's when we actually start to shift our frequency. As long as we do the work, we do the practice, the meditation, we live a life that's, full of compassion and love and kindness, and where we're living and walking our talk. So this is a very powerful Aries equinox, and it comes right next to, next door to it on the 22nd and 23rd with the Aries New Moon. So a very powerful time. So I wish you all the very best. I hope that this has been helpful. So enjoy your time. Bye for now.